Hi, welcome back to my channel on Come Cook With Me. Today I'm going to be making onion fritters, and it's one of our family's favorites. And I'm just going to briefly go over all the ingredients and I'll show you how we're going to do it. So I'm going to have 2 medium-sized sweet onions. Vidalia onions are good. And I've got 2 eggs. I've got 1 cup of flour. I'm going to be using seasoned salt, baking powder, ground pepper, and some milk. And then I'm going to be making the sauce with mayonnaise, cocktail sauce, garlic powder, paprika, oregano, and a little bit of salt. And we're going to get started. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting up 2 Vidalia onions into large chunks, and then I'm going to be adding the rest of these ingredients over here. And it's going to be the flour, the eggs, milk, seasoned salt, baking powder, and black pepper. Okay, so now I've got my onions chopped, and they're kind of a large chop. They're chunky. So this is how you're going to want them cut. And so right now, I'm going to go on to our other ingredients to make the batter. And when I mix that up, I'm going to be putting the onions into the batter, and then we're going to head to the stove. So right now, what I need to do is move my cutting board. And I'm going to take a cup, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You don't have to sift it. I'm going to add my dry ingredients first, I think. You don't have to, but I just want to get those out of the way. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use this seasoned salt, and you can use any kind of seasoned salt you like. This is just regular old seasoned salt. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that. And you're going to need to kind of watch your salt because the sauce that we're going to make is a little salty. So I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to add ½ teaspoon of pepper, just regular old black pepper. Get that on. And 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, those are the dry ingredients. So now I'm going to be adding, let's see, the 2 eggs. Mix it up a little bit. 2 eggs. Let's see. And then have a ½ cup of whole milk. And now, with my whisk, I'm just going to kind of mix this up a little bit. Try not to make too much noise. How's everybody doing today? It's been a really good week. For us, anyway. Okay, as you can see, the batter is a little bit wet. It's not too runny, but you want it kind of thick because this is going to be fritters. So once I mix this all up, I'm going to add my onions right on in. These are so good. Two onions sure make a lot, don't they? It's going to look like you have a lot more onion than you have batter, but it's all going to mix really well, as you can see. And it's kind of thick right now, but when you start mixing it with the onions, it gets the juice of the onions in there, and it makes it kind of loose, which is what you want when you cook it. And see how they're big chunks? That's what you want. Okay, that is it. So what we're going to do before we head to the stove, I want you to please like, subscribe, and don't miss any of our delicious cooking. I'm going to be making a video every week. So now we're going to head to the stove, and I've got my oil heating up. It's just regular canola oil. It works at a good high heat, and you only want it to go up to 350. So I do use a cooking thermometer, and after each batch, I'll let the temperature rise back up to 350. So y'all come over to the stove with me, okay? Okay, so now I've got my oil heated up to 350, and it's just regular canola oil because, like I said, it won't burn. It cooks at a high heat. And I've got my batter right here, and I'm just going to put these. This is I don't know what measurement that spoon is. It's a large tablespoon. But if you can see this, see how chunky that is? That's what you want. And you just put 1 spoon into the hot oil, and it's going to sizzle. And then you move to the next one. And what you're going to do, you're going to cook these at 350 for about 3 minutes, maybe longer, depending on how brown these get. You don't want to burn them. And these onions, because they're big and chunky like this, they're still going to cook real good for you. They're not going to be hard like a raw onion. These are very good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let these cook for about 3-4 minutes. And I'm going to be checking them because I don't want them to get too brown on one side. You want them brown, but you don't want them too brown. So let me check that. Okay, good. And I'm going to be putting the ingredients and measurements in this video in the description. So if you want the recipe, just email comecook.texas@gmail.com. I'm kind of new at this, so just bear with me. I wish I could smell this. This smells really good. But this is one of our family's favorites, and it is a really good side dish or a snack. And this will make a few dozen. Just those 2 onions will make a few dozen. And honestly, I can't get them any smaller than this. I've tried. So you really don't want them real small anyway. Just kind of keeping them floating around. I don't want them to burn. But yeah, these are real good for just snacking or a side dish. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth it. Okay, I'm going to flip these over. I don't know if y'all can see. They start kind of bubbling on the top a little bit. And you flip them over. And you let them cook for about the same amount of time, about 3 or 4 minutes on the other side, depending. You just don't want them to burn. So you need to watch your oil temperature. And when I take these out, And I'm going to put them to drain. You're going to want to put your thermometer back in the oil and bring it back up to temperature, because it is going to cool down while these are in here. So that it does what it does. See, they're not even really brown down there yet, so I still got a few minutes. You could probably get away with using any kind of onion, but you want the sweet ones. I have Vidalia, or you could get those 10-15s, those really big ones, which I have not used those, but if I ever see them in the store, I'm going to, because those are really good onions. They're very mild. These are very much the same as bloomin' onions at Roadhouse. The only thing is you don't have the petals to peel off of it. You have just you just bite into these. And like I said, I'm going to make a nice dipping sauce that these go with. I really hope y'all give these a try, because these are really, really good. Not quite there. I mean, you could put a timer, but I don't know. It just depends. They sometimes cook faster than what your timer is set for, or a little bit slower. So you just have to flip them up a little bit and look at the bottom. And I will show you one. I'm just making sure that they're all the same color. I saw this recipe on YouTube, and I tried it, and I just fell in love with it. And if you have any left over, they heat up really nice in the oven. And they still, you know, they're not real hard and crunchy, but they are a little crisp. And they taste just like they were just cooked when you reheat them. But they normally don't last more than a day. Okay, so these are cooked. Let me get my tongs so you can see. I'm going to put them on a paper towel to dry. But do you see these? I would like to get it to you a little bit closer. Oops. Can you see that? And while you're cooking these, if you wanted to, you could just keep these in a warm oven, and they would stay at the same temperature while the others are cooking. But I'm going to go ahead and take these out, and I'm going to start another batch, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've just finished up the rest of the batch. They're all nice and golden brown. You want to kind of get as much oil as you can off. But these are so easy to make and delicious. So when I get these out of the pan, I'm going to show them to you. And then we're going to head over and make the dipping sauce for these. If you want dipping sauce, you can have dipping sauce or just by themselves. They're perfect by themselves. But you can see how pretty and golden brown. All right. I'm going to turn off my heat, and I'm going to show you what these look like. Look at those puppies. So what we're going to do now is make the sauce. So I'm going to put these down and I'm going to head over to my other counter and we're going to get the sauce done. Okay, so now we're going to make the sauce, the dipping sauce for these onion fritters. What the recipe would have normally called for would be mayonnaise and ketchup and all these other ingredients. But the last time I made it was with cocktail sauce and it had just the right amount of heat. I didn't have to go and buy any horseradish. So it was in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bowl and it calls for a half a cup of mayonnaise. That's a lot of mayonnaise in there. Okay. And 3 tablespoons. It would be ketchup, but it's going to be cocktail sauce. 3 tablespoons. There we go. I can reach it in there. There's 1, 2, 3. And then a teaspoon of black pepper. A half teaspoon of salt. I use Himalayan. And it normally would call for hot sauce, but because we have cocktail sauce, you don't need the hot sauce. So we're going to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of dried oregano. That's all of it. Empty now. Okay. Then a half teaspoon, if I can get this off, of paprika. And I have a half teaspoon of sugar. So these are the ingredients. We're just going to mix them up. And this is a really good dipping sauce for these. And it has just the right amount of heat from the cocktail sauce with the horseradish that's in it. So like I said, these onion fritters, they are like the blooming onion at Outback Steakhouse. They're just in fritter form instead of onion peels. Okay, so there is the sauce. It's all mixed up. And I'm going to plate this and we're going to try it. Okay, so here are the onion fritters. They are done. And I've got my dipping sauce made. And I'm going to show you what they look like inside. They're not real crunchy, but look at the inside. It's kind of doughy, but the onions are cooked all the way. And I'm going to take a little bit. You're going to love these. So I hope you make these. And please like, subscribe, and share. And then I will see you again with the next recipe. And thank you for joining me on Come Cook With Me.